We are at the point in VR gaming that we are getting at least one AAA IP a year. I'm not necessarily saying that we are getting a AAA flat, so to speak, visuals, but we are getting a AAA VR game every single year. Whether you want to include Quest 3 or the Quest platform at all, that doesn't necessarily define if it is a AAA. And in my opinion, Thief VR is coming in as not just a AAA IP, but a AAA VR game. And with almost 10 minutes of additional information that's been released over the last few days, I want to go over everything that we know so far and kind of dig a little bit deeper to some of the things that maybe they didn't talk about specifically within these trailers. Starting off with the story, you're known as a character named Magpie. You are wanted dead or alive, and there is a bounty on your head in the city. You are looking for an artifact or a relic, so to speak, that kind of has ancient magic to it. Garrett, although not in this game, he is being voiced in the game. He's kind of teaching us what we need to do, where we need to go, because he's currently stuck in a mechanical eyeball. And somehow this eyeball ended up in your head. And it gives you powers to be able to see solutions for your environment. Thief as a series has always been stealth focused, so if you are new, I just want to say that now. Stealth is the main focus here, combat is not. Depending upon how you play and how you interact with the game and interact with guards, if you're taking them out and eliminating them, you're going to have a harder time later because they're going to be wearing more armor. If you're someone who's stealthy, knocking them out, not getting caught, you're probably not going to be getting those more difficult enemies as you progress. The more you get caught, the more you get punished as the game progresses. So your stealth and the quality of it affects your entire playthrough. I could have a different 5th level than you just because my stealth is way worse than yours. Another great thing about Thief games, kind of like Dishonored if you've played that, these are kind of open concept maps. So it's not necessarily one route fits all. There are multiple different branching routes, all eventually ending up at the end goal, but there are different ways you can approach it. Very stealthily or straight to the point, through everything, using bottles and stuff as distractions. Thief as an IP has always been known to reward your exploration, and you definitely want to be exploring as much as you can on these maps. There are things that you need to take and steal that aren't necessarily required for you to take, but taking them gives you a little bit of money in your pocket to be able to level up. So you will be rewarded for actually going out and grabbing, say, a vase or a pen, stuff like that, off the ground, through chests, and so on. And whenever you grab it, you just bring it up to your chest, and that will put it in your inventory, so to speak. Your money inventory. Just essentially melts it. This is used to purchase different arrow types and upgrades for Magpie, whether that be additional health or more damage from the baton. You are going to want to make sure that you're not just focused on the end goal, but you're focused on exploration and thievery, since you are a thief. Now, earlier I mentioned that you are going to be affected by how you engage. You're a thief. You're not very strong. Yes, you have a baton. Yes, you can sneak up on enemies. That's usually what you want to do. You want to sneak, knock people out, drag them to a hidden area, and that's what you are going to want to do while you play the game. Eliminating guards just makes your life harder in those later levels, and you'll know if these guards are well hidden by the gem that is on your right hand or left hand, whatever's your primary. that will light up based on how much light is in the area and how easy you are to spot. So shadows and light are going to play a very critical role within your experience of the game. To delve a little bit deeper into combat, they did talk about the bow. There are currently 4 different known arrows. There's a water arrow, which is going to be able to put out torches, any sort of flames and fire, and they will break electrical panels. You have a rope arrow, which is kind of like a grappling thing where you shoot it to very specific locations and then you can climb. This will make it a little bit easier to get harder to reach areas. But if you don't have those arrows, you are going to have a very hard time getting past some of those points. The next arrow is the fire arrow. From my understanding, the fire arrow is going to be able to actually do damage. And my assumption here, this is a complete guess, at some point you will probably run into puzzles that require fire arrows. The last thing that you'll use these for is to take out propaganda posters from the enemy. So you'll see banners that are hung up, you'll either burn them with, I assume, a torch, or one of these fire arrows if you need to do it from a distance. Lastly, just regular arrows. You just shoot these. They do exactly what you expect them to do. They eliminate enemies. As a thief, you're also going to need to lockpick some doors. These are designated by a diamond crest on the lock. You'll only be able to actually pick those specific ones. So these are on doors, these are on chests, you'll know. The mechanic that's here is kind of similar to Assassin's Creed, but I feel like this one's a little bit better because you actually have to pull out your tools, unlike Assassin's Creed where you have to put your hands right next to the lock and they just pop in your hands. Magpie actually has to physically take out storage, pull her lock-picking tools out, and then pick the lock. And you can either keep the graphic here, or you can turn the graphic off and go based on vibration and sound alone. Guards are still going to be moving around you when this happens, so you're going to need to do this quickly. One of the things that they showcase in the gameplay trailer, but they don't actually show in the gameplay showcase, that's confusing, is the ability to pickpocket guards.
I'm stood there going, oh my god, don't touch him, don't you?
I was unaware that this was going to be added. I know that it's in the flat version games, but I didn't know how they were really going to do it in this game. But seeing as though you just have to sneak up behind and take their pouch off of their waist belt, it's going to be pretty cool, at least in my opinion. Obviously, it's going to definitely be a little bit stressful. You're going to be like, oh, is he going to turn around, or is he going to just kind of let me do this? Can he hear me? Oh, no. But I think that adds a little bit of risk and reward adrenaline and, you know, a dopamine hit after you successfully snatch one of those coin purses.
Stood there going, oh my god, don't touch him, don't you?
I want to refer back to Magpie's tool set where she takes out her lockpick. There's another little shiny object here. It looks like a whistle. My assumption is, like throwing a bottle or shooting an arrow, you may be able to use that whistle as some sort of distraction for the guards. So say you are around a corner and you know that you can go all the way around the block to get to the other side as long as you distract this guard. You probably can use that whistle, put it up to your mouth, and then either press a button or you can blow into the microphone. The only reason I'm assuming this is because in the gameplay showcase, they actually talked about candles and how when you're inside, you can either use your hands to snuff out the candles, or you can use your microphone and blow, and that will have Magpie actually blow out the candles, which I think is a fantastic mechanic. I mean, I think Nintendo DS was the one that started this whole blowing into your microphone thing.
We can also use our fingers or blow through our microphone to extinguish these candles.
One of the last things that I want to talk about is there was a clip that showed a flock of birds on the ground, like pigeons. I'm not sure why it's showing those. I don't know who that is going to distract. I don't know if you are, maybe that whistle is involved. You blow that whistle and they attack the guards. Because usually thieves back in the day and royalty would use, birds such as pigeons and ravens to send messages. So maybe they know who this person is and they're working with Magpie. Or my original assumption, because why make it easy on the player? You have to avoid these flocks of birds, because if they go off, then the guards know, hey, she's over there. As I was recording this, I pretty much completely blanked and didn't even talk about this lady. So this lady, no idea who she is. My assumption is she probably runs a red light district home. And if you know, you know. But you can see some of the pictures show a board behind her with what looks like prices. So more than likely, this is someone who took you in when you were young, yada yada. You know the stories and how they go. So I'm kind of excited to see what the backstory is with this and some of the other side characters. Maybe she even knows Garrett, and that's the only reason she's working with you, is because he disappeared, but you seem to know a little bit more than you should about him. Let me know if I missed anything in this. There was so much. I'm so excited about this. The showcase showed off PSVR 2. I assume there's going to be some awesome thing that you can probably do with the mechanical eye, since PSVR 2 has eye tracking. Maybe you open your eyes a little bit more and it activates. I don't know. That'd be freaking amazing. But let me know. Are you guys excited for this? Do you want to see more gameplay before you really decide? Let me know in the comments below. My name is Butters with an O. I want to thank all of you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see all of you in the next video.